The other day I had a false start manifestation. It was one of those experiences where it seemed like what I was creating was going to be something that I'd been desiring for a long time, but it didn't end up anywhere. It didn't lead to the thing I wanted it to be. And it was confusing because I'd had the inner voice, that impulse of feeling this is really right for me. I'd seen some signs that this was the right opportunity to go towards, and yet it didn't work out the way I wanted. And I was kind of like, well, what was the point of that? I don't really understand what happened. So I've been doing manifestation deliberately for decades now, and I've come to understand that these are called what I like to call false start manifestations. And they happen from time to time, and they can be very disappointing and really frustrating, and they can actually make you feel like you're tempted to give up on manifesting, which is a real shame because manifesting does work, and it's something that you need to really approach as a lifestyle and a consistent way of going about your life rather than a one-off thing or every now and then when you feel like you need something or that you're missing something important. So in this video, I want to tell you about how I see these false start manifestations, why they happen, what the lesson in them is for you, how I deal with them, and how to move forward and still feel confident about what you're doing and understand how they fit in the bigger context of your life. I've had false start manifestations in lots of areas of my life. One of them particularly was when I was dating, when I was single and looking for a relationship. And the other has been in career, business, looking for new work opportunities and ways to fulfill my purpose. I was frustrated and kind of impatient that it felt like the universe was tricking or manipulating me in some way. And I just wanted to get out of that pattern. I had like a sign or an inner voice or even a synchronicity that sort of told me that this was the right opportunity for me. So then I go forward into that opportunity, and either it doesn't end up, they choose someone else, or I go into it and like a month later, it's just not happening. It's just not the right fit at all. And I'm kind of like, well, why did that even happen? Like, why, universe? Why would you do this to me? Why would you bring me this false start that wasn't actually going to lead anywhere? So I want to really unpack, because I'm assuming that, like me, you've probably also experienced this or currently experiencing something like this, and it's made you very confused and impatient and frustrated. And I think some of these experiences, when I had multiple ones at a time in a short succession, I would be like tempted to almost like give up on manifesting and go back to living kind of more of a conventional life, doing things in a more conventional way. And I have to tell you, if you're tempted to do that, it doesn't work. Like once you've come onto this path, once you've learned about manifesting, you're not supposed to go backwards. And going backwards, even though it might have worked for you in the past, might work for friends and family because they're on that path, it actually is not going to work for you. It's like you've opened Pandora's box and you kind of got to deal with what you've got now. So the good news is there is some easy ways to deal with these frustrations and disappointments and understand what they're trying to tell you about kind of what point of vibration you're actually attracting these experiences from, that can be really helpful, and so that you can shift those things and start attracting more opportunities, people, experiences that are actually going to lead in the direction of what you want. So there are two reasons why you've had a false start manifestation. Now, the first one is that you're not in alignment with what you've come across, what you've created, and that actually it's not the right thing for you, it's not the right person, it's not the right opportunity. You may have had sort of a sign or a synchronicity or an inner voice suggest that it is, but to some extent you're fooling yourself that there is something that's like maybe the value, that person has a different value system, they're looking for a different kind of lifestyle from you, or that business opportunity, a person's not quite in sync with you. They might look like they're in alignment, like from a superficial level, but actually at a deeper level, they're not. So if that's the case, then that situation was never meant for you. You were actually it was brought upon your path by the universe to show you what your values really are, so that you understand at a deeper level what it is you're actually trying to bring into your reality. The second reason is you're actually not ready for the full manifestation yet. And this is one that can be a bit of like an ego blow, and it's really important to be honest there, and there's no judgment, no blaming. But sometimes it's almost like, often we try to manifest really big things in our life. And whether it's like creating our own business or creating a huge dream to become an author, or even that dream partner, sometimes that can be a big upgrade from what you've experienced in the past, and you're not quite have the skills or the confidence or the energy to match up to that experience. And that if you were brought the right person or opportunity straight away, that you would struggle to keep up with that experience. So it's like thinking about it like it's a marathon and you've just started training for the marathon. And so you're not going to be ready to run that 10K marathon yet. You might be able to do 1K if you're lucky. So in that way, the universe can be bringing you something that shows you like the essence. I like to think of these ones as like a taste from the universe of what you're looking for. And so it is in alignment, these situations. They are in alignment, but you're just not at the level of being able to match up with that fully. You're obviously at a good level, so it's like good news in those situations that you're at kind of a vibrational level where you are attracting those things that are similar to what you want. It's just you need to kind of maintain that vibration, or like build skills or build resilience, or build something that is going to make you be able to like hold on and experience that, the full experience of that manifestation. One big message I have for you is to be really careful when you experience one of these false start manifestations, not to go down the spiral of negative thoughts and to feel, it's normal to feel disappointed and frustrated, but don't let that go down to, at times, what I've done, which is when I felt foolish. You know, I felt because I had some sort of feeling or outer sign or synchronicity, I'd actually believed that that thing was meant for me. And when it didn't, even if I didn't tell other people and have to kind of face up to that feeling of embarrassment, I felt internal embarrassment, like that, oh my gosh, that's foolish that I believed that I could create that amazing thing and it didn't work out. So it's important not to let yourself go into that shame or humiliation, even if it's just kind of in private towards you and your own beliefs and your own expectations, and to instead focus on the takeaways from this experience. So I'm going to share with you the 2 takeaways, and the takeaways are different depending on whether you've discovered that that thing actually wasn't in alignment with you, or whether it's just that you're kind of not quite ready for it yet. So if that person or opportunity feels like it really is in alignment with you on all levels, then you may not actually be ready for it. And this requires some self-honesty. Like, I remember when I was single and looking for a partner, and I had this opportunity where I kind of asked myself, am I really ready for this? Is this really the right thing to come into my life now? And in a moment of honesty, I actually felt like no. I felt like I'm actually not ready for this because I need to do something else first. And for me, that felt like I needed to make steps towards starting my own business first before I was ready to meet that person. And that was kind of an intuitive feeling. So it's something you have to decide for yourself. It's not like that is an essential step for everybody. But I just felt that even though I wanted to have the partner straight away, that like deep down I knew that I needed to walk towards my life purpose in a meaningful way before that person was going to come in. So I decided to kind of let go of needing to manifest a partner at that moment and then walk towards creating my own business. And what's interesting then, it was only probably about 4 to 6 months later that I actually met my partner, and now we've been together for 10 years. But it was like really important to be honest about, maybe there's a reason I haven't manifested the thing I want, is because there's something else I need to be focusing my attention on now. And it might not even be like a skill you need for that manifestation. It might just be that life is directing you to something else important. Because the challenge with manifesting is you don't want to think of manifesting as singular different things, like almost like a Christmas shopping list that you're trying to tick off. It's like all the manifestations, they have to fit together like a jigsaw, and they form like the picture of your ideal life. So sometimes some jigsaw pieces need to go in first before you can put in the other ones. And you really want it to unfold in a natural way. So it's important to step back and wonder, why is there some reason like this isn't the right timing? There's something else I should be doing right now. In the other scenario where you're actually attracting something that isn't in alignment, and that's why it doesn't lead anywhere, you have to be honest and go, was it really in alignment with me? And I've had situations where I realized that person wasn't in alignment with me, and the fact that they left the country in a few days was probably a good thing in hindsight, because there was some mismatch and it was never going to lead to what I want it to be anyway. I also had that situation in job opportunities where I had an opportunity that only lasted 30 days, and I think we both realized during those 30 days we really weren't in alignment, that we might have had a similar vision or sort of points of connection that were similar, but actually what we wanted to create was very different, and the way in which we thought was the best way to create it was different. So of course that situation, it felt like a false start for me, but it actually was a reminder of like what my values are when it comes to business and what I was trying to create. Your reaction to the false start is actually the most important part of this experience. So while it is normal and tempting to either go into frustration or disappointment or even despair or scarcity or fear of missing out, it's really important to focus on doubling down on your beliefs around manifestation and just believing that the right things are coming. So to really lean into your trust and your faith and see it as an opportunity to either get a taste of what you want or to refine what it is you want and to make sure that you're attracting the right thing on that deeper level.